Plus, with developing news for you happening in the next 30 minutes, the Pinellas County Use of Deadly Force Investigative Task Force plans to announce findings after a deputy-involved shooting. It happened earlier this month on 47th Avenue North in Lealman. The Sheriff's Department says 42-year-old Jeremy Reed charged at 3 deputies with a gun when they responded to a domestic dispute. Reed was shot but survived his injuries. Right now, Deputy Jesse Creaser, Deputy Dylan Schultz, and Corporal Stuart Kelman are all on paid administrative leave. We will stream that update live for you when the news conference begins. Thanks for watching 10 Tampa Bay Plus. I'm Caitlin Lockerbie. Happening in just hours, the future of the Rays Stadium deal is going to be in the hands of Pinellas County Commissioners. The group meets at 2 o'clock this afternoon for a crucial vote about paying its portion of the project. 10 Tampa Bay's Jenny Dean is outside the Trop now with an update.
It's definitely a possibility that that vote could be delayed again. It was already pushed back from last month to today because of the back-to-back hurricanes and concerns the commissioners had about all of the damage, not only to Tropicana Field, but to the beaches and how they would pay to get everything going back to normal. Now, go back to July, and that is when Pinellas County Commissioners initially approved paying $312 million for their portion of the redevelopment of the gas plant district and the stadium. But that was before the hurricanes. And there's a new twist since then. 2 recently elected commissioners will be part of that vote, and both have expressed concerns about the deal. Add to that the Rays' decision to play at Steinbrenner Field in Tampa next season, and some commissioners are not happy.
Would I have liked to have known that there were conversations with the Phillies? Yes. Would I have liked to have known if they were talking to the Blue Jays? Yes. Would I have preferred they stayed in Pinellas County and the tourism dollars that will come with next season will go to Pinellas County? I would prefer that. But as far as making a decision and where this is going to go, it's too soon.
And after the delayed vote last month, Rays owner Stuart Sternberg told the Tampa Bay Times the future of baseball in Tampa became less certain after that. And as I mentioned, again, it is likely that commissioners will delay the vote again, and in doing so, that could delay the start of construction in this entire project, including the opening of a brand new stadium. Of course, we'll find out today at 2 o'clock. In St. Petersburg, Jenny Dean, 10 Tampa Bay.
All right, we'll update you later on today on 10 Tampa Bay. Right now, a teen facing charges for threatening to kill a Pinellas County commissioner over the Rays Stadium deal. This is all according to the sheriff's office. Deputies arresting a 17-year-old who posted on X that he planned to go to Commissioner Chris Latvala's house and, quote, blow his head off. That teen turned himself in and is now charged with written threats to kill. The threat comes after Latvala told 10 Tampa Bay he would vote no on bonds for a new Rays stadium if the team is not playing in Pinellas. We spoke to him last night about the threat.
I think people get ginned up when they read something and they think that I'm solely responsible, or they hear something and I'm solely responsible. There's 7 of us.
Commissioner Latvala has been on the county's Board of Commissioners since 2022. He represents Pinellas County's District 5. Well, taking a live look now over downtown Tampa. A beautiful start out there. And today is a good day to secure any tarps you have on your roof right now following the hurricanes, because we have been very dry for quite some time now. Meteorologist Mike Prangley is tracking some rain in our forecast, though. Things are changing overnight.
Yeah, hey, thank you, Caitlin. And you're right. We've been very lucky. We've had about 6 straight weeks of mainly dry weather across the Tampa Bay area, and really from Tampa Bay up and toward the first coast in Jacksonville. And we look at a beautiful afternoon out there. And I think this will be the last day of the dry weather before big changes are ahead. So if you're going to get outside, my goodness, look at Clearwater Beach. Doesn't get much better than that. White sands and sunshine and seashells right there. Say that 10 times. 78 degrees, a dew point of 62. So the dew points are coming up. Beach forecast does call for a high temperature today of 80, but what meteorologists are watching, that wind. Notice it's starting to turn off to the south-southeast. Okay, so that's a sign of an approaching front. We do have that water temperature of 77 degrees. And there's that front I was talking about right now, straddling the Big Bend from Crystal River in Citrus County up toward the capital city of Tallahassee. That'll make a move on northeast Florida from Gainesville and Alachua County into Clay County, St. Johns County, and northeast Florida as we head through this afternoon. But I don't think it's going to produce rain for us here in Tampa until very late tonight. In fact, it looks like as our weather impact alert goes, it is officially for Wednesday from 3 a.m. to 11 a.m. Biggest impacts, heavy rain, gusty wind, slick roads, something we haven't dealt with, okay? So we're gonna need the umbrella, driving carefully, allowing that extra time. We've got the very new and latest data to help plan ahead county by county. But first, we've got Sarah Rosario keeping you covered on the area roadways. Hey, good morning, Sarah.
Good morning to you. Thank you for joining us here at 10:36. Looking at traffic, we're going to be keeping our eyes on the roads tomorrow for those slick conditions. Right now, the traffic is not really causing us a major headache for drivers headed through I-4 near Thenona-Sassa Road. We've got some stop and go speeds here, but really not because of any crashes along our major most traveled roadways. Checking in with I-275, it's a lot better, moving at 56 miles per hour right now southbound. As you're headed from Beers down to I-4, it's about a 16-minute ride. Things looking okay here. And then looking at our predictive traffic tracker, 1030 right now, it's about a 26-minute ride between I-75 and the Selman connector. That's traffic. Caitlin, over to you.
All right, right now, a Hillsborough County mother is behind bars facing child abuse charges after deputies say she slammed her 18-month-old into a crib. Investigators say 27-year-old Alexis Hardacre admitted to Hillsborough detectives that she lost her patience when the baby wouldn't take a nap. This happened in September. Deputies were called to Brandon Regional Hospital, where they say the child was treated for injuries to his face, neck, and arm. Hardacre was just arrested on Monday and is now charged with 1 count of child abuse. Happening right now, state lawmakers back at the state capitol for a one-day organization session. Comes after both parties named their leaders in the Senate and the House. Republicans still hold supermajorities in both chambers. Lawmakers will formally name Senator Ben Albritton and Representative Daniel Perez as Senate President and House Speaker. Last night, Tampa's Fentress Driscoll was officially named House Minority Leader. State Senator Jason Pizzo will lead the Democratic caucus in the Florida Senate for the next 2 years. The 2025 legislative session begins on March 4th. This morning, several pets back with their owners after a really scary night. Take a look at this video. Tampa Fire Rescue says firefighters rescued a dog, several cats from a home. Crews had to revive the dog and treat several of the cats for smoke inhalation. Poor thing. It happened on West Parish Street. The owners were not home when the flames started, and right now it's really not clear what sparked them. All of the pets are safe and sound, as you can see, and now they've been reunited with their owners. Sweet face. Well, this morning, neighbors on edge after a series of coyote attacks on Siesta Key. One of them was deadly. Some neighbors and local leaders describe this coyote matter as at a crisis level right now. Recently, there have been at least 3 separate coyote attacks on dogs. Neighbors say the sightings, they grew after the recent hurricanes. One owner says his dog was attacked right in his front yard.
I looked up and there was a coyote with Coco in her mouth, and the coyote was about the size of a good-sized German Shepherd, all scraggly looking. Coyote took off up the street. So I chased him up the street, and then I came back and got the car because there was 2 of them, and they were passing her back and forth and running in the middle of the houses.
Really scary. Florida Fish and Wildlife officials are working on a solution, but right now they're reminding neighbors this is a natural habitat for coyotes, and you should stay extra vigilant outdoors, especially when you have small kids with you and your pets. Well, this morning, President-elect Donald Trump's team is defending his choice for Attorney General, calling former Congressman Matt Gaetz the right man for the job. It comes as CBS News is learning new details about testimony given to the House Ethics Committee regarding allegations of sexual misconduct and drug use, all of which Gaetz denies. CBS News' Jared Hill has more from New York.
President-elect Donald Trump is on a fast track to staff his administration. According to sources, he's aiming to announce all cabinet-level picks by Thanksgiving. Monday, Trump named former Wisconsin Congressman turned Fox Business host Sean Duffy to be Secretary of Transportation. Meanwhile, controversy continues over Trump's pick for Attorney General, former Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz.
This happened and it's real.
Attorney Joel Leppert tells CBS News 2 of his clients told the House Ethics Committee they were paid to have sex with Gaetz at a party in Orlando, Florida in 2017. One woman testified she witnessed Gaetz having sex with a minor.
She arrived at the party. She had sex with Representative Gaetz within minutes of her arrival. Later on, when she was walking out to the pool area, she observed to her right, Representative Gaetz having sex with her friend who was 17 at the time.
A DOJ probe into the allegations ended with no charges being filed. Gates has denied any wrongdoing.
It is a horrible allegation, and it is a lie.
Two sources tell CBS News the House Ethics Committee is expected to meet tomorrow amid growing calls to make the report on its Gates investigation public.
We've got a bipartisan group of senators who've asked to see it. It's obviously relevant to the vote that they'll take with respect to confirmation.
I think it would be a bad precedent for us to set.
Also this morning, a source close to the transition tells CBS News Trump's team is considering executive orders in the first days of his administration to make sure his mass deportation plan can withstand any legal challenges. Jared Hill, CBS News.
At this hour, Governor Ron DeSantis also vetting potential U.S. Senate candidates to replace current Senator Marco Rubio. Rubio was named to be President-elect Donald Trump's pick for Secretary of State. The governor needs to appoint someone to fill his role once Rubio resigns from the Senate. That person will serve as senator until a special election in 2026. The current term ends in 2028. Governor DeSantis says he already has strong interest from several candidates, but he's not naming names just yet. In a post on X, the governor says he'll likely name someone in early January. Well, as you start your morning, President Joe Biden is asking Congress for nearly $100 billion in disaster funding. In a letter to House Speaker Mike Johnson, the president says the Small Business Administration's disaster loan program is out of money right now. The Democrat added both FEMA Disaster Relief Fund and the National Flood Insurance programs will also face shortfalls if extra funding isn't approved. Biden also asking for extra funds for several departments, including the USDA, HHS, HUD, and the Department of Energy. In the letter, Biden adds Congress granted emergency disaster funding following hurricanes Katrina, Sandy, and Irma. Well, right now, tensions continue to rise. In the war on Ukraine, the Kremlin is sending the U.S. a warning right now after the Biden administration's decision to let Ukraine strike targets inside Russia with American-supplied longer-range missiles. The U.S. avoided the move until now. A Kremlin spokesman says Washington is adding fuel to the fire and provoking further escalation of tensions. And in health news this morning, those prescription drug ads that you see all over TV, they may be changing. New rules from the FDA take effect this week, and they require drug makers to be clearer about the risks and the side effects of medications without using medical jargon that many of us don't understand. The rules will impact TV and radio ads, but they don't apply to social media influencers. And take a look at your screens here. We're wishing Blue a very happy retirement. She sure is cute. Blue joined the Bradenton Police Department in January of 2019. She's helped recover 60 kilograms of illegal drugs and assisted with state and federal investigations. She's going to stay with her handlers. Look at her. She looks bundled up there. We wish her lots of treats and a very restful retirement.
Art is very therapeutic, whether you're just looking at it or whether you're spending time making it.
Straight ahead, a new collaboration helping kids and teens who are waiting to be adopted. And right now, the sky is the limit, especially when you're flying at 40,000 feet. The new announcement from TPA about where your next trip could take you.
A program that's supposed to help hurricane victims.
Did you ever think that 7 years later, this is where you would be?
Has been failing Florida families for years. 10 Tampa Bay investigates why it's still happening. Wednesday at 11.
Weather impacts your life every day. I'm 10 Tampa Bay Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins. You can find out about any change in the weather with our 10 Tampa Bay Plus app. Just stream for the latest forecast, any weather impact alert, updated tropics forecast, and take a live look at the radar. Anytime you want, and it's free. It's just one more way we're helping you stay informed, prepared, and connected. Stream 10 Tampa Bay Plus.
A program that's supposed to help hurricane victims.
Did you ever think that 7 years later, this is where you would be?
Has been failing Florida families for years. 10 Tampa Bay investigates why it's still happening. Wednesday at 11.
Morning news you can watch live or anytime.
With 10 Tampa Bay Plus.
With breaking news from overnight, weather to plan your day.
Make sure that you have a way to get alerts. I'm going to continue to follow these storms
and much more exclusive content you can only find here.
But when life happens and takes you away from the story,
10 Tampa Bay Plus has you covered.
Keeping you informed, prepared, and connected when you have time to catch up.
Watch 10 Tampa Bay live weekday mornings from 5 to 7.
Or on your time with 10 Tampa Bay Plus.
November is National Adoption Month, and this morning in our Forever Family segment, we hear about a new community collaboration that's bringing awareness about the kids who are in foster care awaiting adoption right now. It's giving them a chance to express their emotions through art.
I was amazed at the impact that the arts has with helping an individual be able to process their trauma. And so for these kids that are able to put together this heart art as they're going through whatever trying experience right now in their lives, the fact that they're still able to show such beautiful views of life despite what they may be going through.
Yeah. What are they prompted with?
So they're guided by different art professionals.
And local community organizations, including Craft Art in St. Pete.
We've been working with one local young adult that actually was in foster care herself and has been adopted. So she comes in, she tells her story, and she works with our children.
Now, this is a way for an adoptive parent to feel connected to the kid, but what do you hope the kid takes out of these projects too?
Art is very therapeutic, whether you're just looking at it or whether you're spending time making it.
As the CEO of Florida Craft Art, he's seen firsthand the positive impact these experiences have had on kids.
Almost a new discovery to them about who they were.
A lot of our kids are really expressing themselves through that heart art, telling people exactly what they're looking for and really connecting with it.
We had one young teen. She came to actually 2 sessions, and when she met our artists and they started talking about how long they both had been in foster care, she just lit up, and her art, it was bright and beautiful, and she just really was excited to show a different side of her.
If Florida Craft Art, what's going on at the Heart Gallery can bring any kind of awareness to that. I mean, magic, right? I mean, you can't ask for a better day than that at work.
If you want to learn more about adopting or helping kids in foster care, you can contact Forever Family. Head to 10tampabay.com for all the information. And remember, adoption from foster care is free. All right, let's send things over to meteorologist Mike Prangley in with a gorgeous look outside right now. Beautiful Clearwater Beach. Things are going to be changing pretty fast, though, later today.
They are. In fact, we've been in a holding pattern, steady pattern for about 40 days and 40 nights of dry weather, and we needed it after Helene and Milton ravaged the area in a 13-day period. So the good news is if you've been out to the beaches, things are cleaning up very nicely, the community working together, and it's been wonderful. Now, if you look at the big picture, we could use a little rain, but the question is, yes, will we have a lot of wind and any severe weather to go with it? I've got the latest data, but first let's take a look. There's a Wyndham Grand Clearwater Beach forecast, and even though we have fast changes in the forecast, we're okay for the rest of today. Looking gorgeous out there. In fact, we've got the beach umbrellas, okay, and the coolers. We're hydrating well. We've got the UV index of 5, which is in the moderate range, which means you could get a sunburn still in about 20-25 minutes. But by tomorrow, we're going to put away the beach umbrellas and get out the actual umbrellas, or 10 Tampa Bay umbrellas, for instance. Let's head to the weather wall and check it out. We've got a weather impact alert officially in effect for tomorrow morning. Okay, so that's what our weather team's been working on here today, and I appreciate you streaming live here with us here on 10 Tampa Bay. What I'm watching is this. Look, we've got this gorgeous day, one more warm day, a very warm one, still above average temperatures from Jacksonville at 75, 75 in Orlando, mid to upper 70s from Fort Myers to Tampa right now. But look what's coming. I've got a hot chocolate advisory in this forecast. Notice we go from today's official high of 84 and our forecast high of 84. There's the sunshine and seashells there, to finding a warm cup of maybe some coffee or hot chocolate. That's a high temperature on Thursday. That's something we normally don't see until December, even January at times. In fact, we've got the emojis looking a little chilly, huh? We've got lows by Saturday morning well below average. It's been a hot summer, hottest summer on record, right? But yeah, how about this? We're talking about low to mid 40s from Dade City to Plant City, Lakeland, Bartow. Frost proof. No frost for you, but plenty cold at 44, and we may have a little frost up toward North Florida, so we'll keep an eye on that. We take a look at the big picture. We've got what we call a hemispheric pattern change, okay? So keep your eyes on the coloration here. So you got the warm colors in the oranges and the yellows here, and then your colder weather coming in with the blues here. And notice where it is. It's pointing right toward us with that northwest flow. Now, a lot of times these cold air masses modify before they come to Tampa and northeast Florida because, yes, they have a lot of terrain and they've got a lot of topography to cover. So we're pretty far south here in the tropics and the subtropics. So we're going to turn chilly, but not the cold they're going to see up into the northeast and your friends in Atlanta, New York City. So you'll hear about that, I'm sure, from them. But so for us, we're going to be watching a fast-moving, changing pattern. In fact, by Thanksgiving, we could see a warm-up before Thanksgiving and then yet another rainy front on the way. So just buckle your seats. Here we go. Now, the best chance of rain for at least this week, we'll take it a week at a time, would be for our Thursday. So notice we got that 70% chance, and we take a look at the big picture officially Wednesday morning. We're going to wake up with that heavy rain between 3 a.m. and 11 a.m. All right. The biggest thing we're watching for the impacts, strong fronts can sometimes bring a strong thunderstorm. So we're going to watch that, and we're going to need some extra time on the roadways. It's been a long time. Here's the latest data here. So Jacksonville, Daytona Beach, Tampa, watching that squall line. And if anything has changed, I think this line could hold together a little better than we saw earlier. Okay, maybe a little stronger. So that's what we're watching here with the updated data. Notice we head toward Wednesday, 1 a.m. So tomorrow morning, waking up with the squall line. And the last couple of days, the models have been showing this really weakening pretty rapidly. But still, look at that. We could still see a strong thunderstorm up toward the Nature Coast. Okay, areas of Sumter County, watching that Polk County, and even down into Hillsborough and Pinellas and Pasco County. So would not be surprised to maybe have some wind gusts of 40 to 50 miles per hour. But at this time, not an organized line of severe weather, anything like that. Maybe a strong storm or two. And then look what happens by noon. Front sweeps through, we dry out, and here comes our big change in that 7-day forecast. So notice we go from the mid-80s, 79 tomorrow with that morning rain, and then Thursday, actually, we're going to actually see much different weather, right? A different season altogether. We've got clear blue skies, a high of just 69. It'll still be breezy. It'll feel like we'll have some wind chills at times. We've got that hot chocolate advisory, right? And then we go into Friday and the weekend, beautiful sunny weather and vintage winter weather for Tampa. Whenever you see highs in the upper 60s and lows in the upper 40s.
Mike Franklin, break out the boots. Temperatures in the 60s. I'll take that hot cocoa advisory or hot chocolate advisory that you mentioned. Good morning. It is 10:52 your time here on 10 Tampa Bay. Plus, we're looking at our predictive traffic tracker, and you can see it's only going to take you about 19 minutes right now to get from I-75 to the Selman connector. Also, looking at the rest of our roads right here, our Bay Area bridges, all of them up to speed so far. No big slowdowns to tell you about here across the Courtney Campbell Causeway, Howard Franklin or Gandy Bridge. Where we do have some delays is once you're getting over the Howard Franklin Bridge, you will run into some slight slowdowns trying to get to that 275 I-4 connector. As far as crashes go, couples still popping up here. There's one crash here near I-4 as you are getting toward those Ybor City exits. Looking good here through Bradenton. Got a crash here not far from US 301 for drivers through Bradenton, but things are looking good overall. Good morning, Pasco County friends. Shady Hills Road looking good. Veterans Expressway up to speed. Want to tell you about this as the holiday season kicks off. AAA is expecting it to be the busiest season ever. Whether you're headed home by car, by plane, by train, a little bit of preparation will honestly go a long way to help ensure a smoother journey. Both travel experts and the Better Business Bureau are offering advice on what to expect and how to stay safe during the holidays. Some safety precautions include making sure that you share your itinerary with someone, especially if you're traveling by yourself. Also, store your valuables inside the hotel safe, because, you know, that safe is there for a reason, folks. Try not to post details about your trip online, every single little place you're going, because someone can follow you and that just won't be great, especially those location details. Maybe think about waiting a couple days, couple hours after at least, and then you can just have fun and be by yourself, safe. And if you see suspicious activity, don't ignore it. When it comes to making those trips, best advice as always is to book your flights and your accommodations as early as possible. Monitor those road conditions and weather updates. Follow us here at 10 Tampa Bay and be mindful of your personal security while shopping or donating. Tomorrow, we're going to be telling you more about the dangers of vacation scams, things you need to know before you book your long-awaited trip. Caitlin?
Well, right now, an extra $1 million being spent to boost the state's local economy. Visit Florida says it added an extra $1 million in a new ad campaign, encouraging people to come back to Florida following this year's hurricane season. The state tourism agency already announcing more than $5 million for the new effort. Visit Florida says it will highlight areas of the state that weren't impacted by Hurricanes Debbie, Helene, and Milton, and then expand to other areas that are now recovered. Well, are you on the hunt for a car? This morning, U.S. regulators are updating vehicle safety ratings, starting with 2026 models. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is adding new technologies to its 5-star ratings program: pedestrian automatic emergency braking, lane keeping assistance, blind spot warnings, and intervention. Those changes were required by the 2021 bipartisan infrastructure law with a focus on protecting pedestrians. And you want to head to Canada? Well, you can fly nonstop from Tampa to Vancouver now. The airport just announcing the new route will take off with WestJet in June of next year. The flights are once a week. They're going to last through October. TPA says Vancouver is the airport's second largest nonstop, underserved international destination. WestJet already flies nonstop to Calgary.
A program that's supposed to help hurricane victims.
Did you ever think that 7 years later, this is where you would be?
Has been failing Florida families for years. 10 Tampa Bay investigates why it's still happening. Wednesday at 11.
Did you cut the cord?
But still want your local news for free?
It can happen. Just stream 10 Tampa Bay Plus.
And the best part? You can watch us live.
Or catch up with what's happening anytime you want. It's always the latest news, updated weather forecasts, and a whole lot more. You can even customize your favorites so you see what you want right away.
We think there's no better way to stay informed, prepared, and connected. Stream the free 10 Tampa Bay Plus app now.
A program that's supposed to help hurricane victims.
Did you ever think that 7 years later, this is where you would be?
Has been failing Florida families for years. 10 Tampa Bay investigates why it's still happening. Wednesday at 11.
When the weather changes, you feel the impact. And you told us alerting you when the weather turns severe is the most important thing we can do. That's why 10 Tampa Bay is taking forecasting to the next level with Weather Impact Alert Days. So you'll know when to be alert, how the weather will impact your day, and how to keep your family safe.
Keeping you informed, prepared, and connected with Weather Impact Alert on 10 Tampa Bay and 10 Tampa Bay Plus.
Welcome back. Ticket renewals start today for the 2025 Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. The IndyCar race kicks off the IndyCar season on February 28th through March 2nd. If you bought 3-day grandstand tickets for the last race, you get first dibs and can buy tickets to next year's race today. And general admission tickets, they start on December 13th. The 3-day grandstand ticket package starts at $135. Well, the world's most famous cellist is coming to Tampa Bay. Tickets for Yo-Yo Ma's concert with the Florida Orchestra, they are available today as well. The benefit concert is happening Friday night, February 28th at Ruth Eckerd Hall in Clearwater. Tickets to see the 19-time Grammy winner start at $75.
That's a pretty good deal.
It's always a good time.
Yeah.
Ruth Eckerd Hall, and you got the Grammy Award winning. And don't
We have
forget
the holiday
tonight,
happenings as well.
we've got the Hyde Park Village tree lighting tonight, 7 p.m. I get real excited about Christmas, so I'm ready to go.
It's right around the corner. It's going to feel a little bit more like Christmas, too.
You have your trees up?
Not yet.
yet.
I'm going to let Thanksgiving be Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I'll wait,
Well,
but right away.
I've been listening to Christmas music since July, so I can't take it.
You're basically Betty the Elf nonstop.
Pretty
all
much. Okay. We take a look at our chance of rain. It's coming in late tonight. Okay, so make sure you join us in the morning. We've got a whole crew ready to go. Caitlin will be here, Sarah and I keeping you safe on the roadways because we're talking our heaviest rain in about 6 weeks, and that's why we have that red shading you see on that 7 days. So weather impact alert as we wake up tomorrow morning, so about 11 a.m., 3 to 11 a.m., and then we'll start to dry out, and then we're really going to get in that holiday spirit. Look at those temperatures, 40s for lows, highs in the 60s.
Snuggle weather.
Snuggle weather for sure.
For sure. Okay, so want to make you aware of this natural gas line rupture. It did the shelter in place is in order for some people here in Tampa. Told to shelter in place because of that rupture happening just before 7 o'clock this morning. Tampa Fire Rescue there is on scene. This is near North 30th Street and East Bougainvillea Avenue, so heads up for my people through that area. They are working on it. Again, shelter in place within a 4-block radius in place there. Impact to the road, some delays along 275 that you're going to be seeing.
Okay, so pick up those lunch sandwiches elsewhere. Try to avoid that area. Some good stuff.
We're with you all the time right here on 10 Tampa Bay Plus and the news at noon on 10 Tampa Bay.
Have a great day.